do this right, if I do this right,
we gotta do this right.
It'll change the world.
The whole world.
It'll change my life.
That's right. That's
Yeah.
right.
Aish.
If I do this right,
World peace.
if I do this right,
Come on.
There
it'll
he
change
is.
the
Change the
world.
world.
It'll change my life.
Gonna change the whole life.
If I do this right,
If
I do this
Let's
right,
go. Let's
if I do this right,
it'll change the world.
that's what's
It'll
up.
change my life.
Let's go. Let's go.
Let's go.
If I do this right,
Yeah.
if I do this right,
Let's go. Let's go.
Well, you.
Happy Sunday, everyone. Everyone's as people start coming in. Welcome to another episode of If I Do This Right podcast. This is season 3 for us, show episode 2. So excited about this show. So thank you all for joining us, who are going to be joining us live, and thank you all who are going to be watching later on down the line. So thank you guys.
Also, please like, subscribe so you can get notifications of the next shows, and just make sure that you're tuned in, because this is what we have today is powerful.
I'm so excited about it. I've been excited about this for a couple of months, seems like now.
Oh yeah.
So been super excited about that. Before we get into today's show, school is starting. School is starting tomorrow. How you feel about that? I have a senior.
You have a senior.
My baby is the last of the Mohicans is a senior.
You ready for prom?
If he go. If he go.
You know what? They don't want to go to prom. Well, some don't.
Some don't.
Yeah.
It may change. I think boys are more interested in prom, especially like when they're dating and things of that nature. But James is kind of low key. So we'll see.
Listen, I get it, because your heart beat out your chest when you try to ask somebody, to prom. It's like, I was just wondering if you in the same classes. Like, you just say anything. Like, you're in the same classes that I am.
Yeah.
So why don't you something together about a prom?
Just get the word prom out.
Just get the prom
but
out.
homecoming is like another sort of prom now, because people are doing all the big homecoming acts and things of that nature.
Yeah, that's when you can flex for your school and all of that. So
So the Olympics have been on.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, let me tell you
USA
something.
has been cutting up.
They talk about there's a bunch of stuff happening in the Olympics, but when it comes to like the 100-meter sprint and the 200 meters and that is work. Yeah. When I see them, they be working. Yeah. And shout out to they won gold in certain categories, but definitely shout out to Texas own
Sha'Carri
Richardson, because you know what? That says a lot, because people doubted her. People always say stuff. You know what? I know I'm choppy. I got so much stuff to say, because people only comment after you do something.
Come on.
They never comment before. Yeah. You got to do something to get a reaction out of them. Yeah. And that's why you cannot listen to what comes after what you do. You just got to keep doing what you're doing.
That's right. Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
Yeah, serious.
Yeah. So what's your favorite Olympic event?
You know what? I have a weird one, and I have a good one. So my favorite, my weird one is I like archery.
Okay.
I don't know, just something about archery and when they do shoot guns or whatever. Yeah. I like that. I just like that level of concentration. Okay. And then I do like the gymnastics. Okay. Yeah, they get busy. When they hold the rings and stuff like that. They just making your arms, legs. Yeah. What about you? What's your favorite Olympics?
Oh, track will always probably be, because that's a love of mine. Yeah. That was my sport. So track is my favorite. I also love swimming.
Yeah, swimming is good.
But especially these synchronized swimmers.
Oh, when they do
the dancing,
all that together.
Because I find that so fascinating that you can Like I can't hardly doggy paddle with them. So how are y'all doing that?
They get it done.
They do. Of course, this is a huge election year.
Yes.
Kamala Harris is running. We all know this.
This is a game changer. This is like when it doesn't have the same feel, but it reminds me of when Barack was running for the first time, and there was a game changer then. But this will be a super game changer because this is the first, a woman elect, president.
Yeah.
If everything goes right in her favor.
Yeah. Yeah, it's huge. And again, no matter how you decide to vote, because that is your choice, I hope that everyone is being respectful of everyone's decisions.
You know what? Vote with information. A lot of times we vote because your mama vote. Vote with information. For your candidate, and vote between too. Don't just wait for presidency like the people in office. Here's the thing: you want laws to go your way. There's legislations in the Senate and the House that you really need to focus on. Focus on that.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
then your president, can get things passed.
Yeah, it's a domino effect.
It's an effect. One person just don't run it all. So.
That's right. But
you knew that, right?
Well, let's introduce our guest.
Yes. Oh, yes. I'm excited about this.
So Jennifer Allen is a micro wedding specialist. I never even heard the term micro wedding before I got aware of Jennifer, but she's a micro wedding specialist and a wedding to wife host. When it comes to effortless, epic elopements and micro weddings and even doper marriages, because that's the important part.
Yes.
There's only one expert you can rely on, and that's Jennifer Allen. Known as the wedding to wife specialist, Jennifer's superpower is stripping away the stress of one of the most memorable moments of a couple's new life together by planning the most luxurious, intimate wedding in a little less than 24 hours.
Unheard of.
Jennifer's experience of getting married at City Hall and having her husband leave the same day for a 10-month deployment was stressful. This is why, as the founder of Just Elope, she has made it her life's mission to rewrite the norms of wedding planning into a simple yet unforgettable moment focused on love. Almost 450 couples have booked with Just Elope.
Come on, that's
450
that's
couples.
That's
a lot. Jennifer's penchant for making weddings and marriages work is precisely why networks, celebrities, and discerning clients flock to her. She's most proud of her work as the officiant on Network's hit series Love is Blind, something I watch.
Oh, wow.
A lot.
That's huge.
Marrying hip-hop icon Da Brat.
Come on now. You wait a minute, hold on. You know how much I love Da Brat?
I know.
You know how much I love Da Brat?
Yes.
Word up. Hey.
But she married Da Brat and Jessica.
That's awesome.
On WeTV's Brat Loves Judy, and authoring her relationship book, #Relationship Goals.
Okay.
Jennifer also has a podcast called Wedding to Wife, which educates brides about the efforts required to organize a wedding that looks straight out of Pinterest and helps wives navigate married life. Follow her as she explores various wedding venues and converses with wedding experts and couples regarding their wedding experience. Jennifer has been married to her husband, Travis, I hope I'm saying that correctly, for 14 years, and they are the proud parents of 3 sons. Welcome to the show, Jennifer.
Right.
Hi. How are y'all? Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Thank you for joining us today. I'm super excited about this conversation. So let me backtrack a little bit. Close to where we live, there was a billboard that said Just Elope. And I had been seeing this billboard. And I always was like, I need to go to their website because it just interests me, right? So, one day, maybe. I'm
That's why we're gonna get some tips.
We're gonna get some tips.
Pointers.
So anyway, and then just so happened scrolling through TikTok, and I saw your face, and I said, "That face looks familiar to me." Wow. And I commented, "I think I saw a billboard of you," and you commented back and said, "Yep, you should." So, needless to say, I reached out and you obliged us, and so excited to be on. Absolutely. So, first of all, like I told you, we have a question of the show. You're going to get to answer the question first.
Okay.
Round robin the question. So, the question is, when's the last time you've been to a library?
I'm going to say this is August, so okay. July. So yeah.
Okay. That's surprising because a lot of people haven't been in a while. What about you?
No.
Just no.
No, they charged me 10 cents per paper, and I was done with it. I'm gonna get my own printer. I'm gonna get my own paper.
Yeah.
So how long ago was
that? I haven't been in the library, public library. Yes. Like, oh my God, like 3-4 years.
Yeah.
It's been a while.
Man, it has been.
That's because Barnes & Noble is.
This is embarrassing to say, but I would say maybe 10 years.
Yeah.
It's been for me.
I mean, that was the norm for us for a while. Our kids are avid readers, and they read through books so fast. And I was like, so we're going to stop buying these books for you to read in a day. And that was like $23. So we're going to the library. And so that is how that came to be. We're like, let's go take these books back.
Yes.
And let's get some more. I'm like, because I'm not going to keep buying books for you to read. You sit down in the sit-in, you read the book, and now you're like, oh, okay, well, can you get.
Yeah, that was me as a young kid. And I just started getting back into reading, which I'm so glad I got back into reading.
Yeah, love it. We are readers in this house. I'm currently reading all things Colleen Hoover right now, all of her books. Okay. Love them all. If you've never read Veridity is what I just finished. It's really good. Okay. And she has a movie coming out in theaters. It begins with us or it ends with us. One of the two.
I think it ends with us. I feel all of the books has been talking about it.
Yeah, so I'm gonna read that one before I go see it. But if you're looking for a good place to like restart, she's an amazing writer.
Okay,
so I'm check her out.
Yeah. I have been reading Demon's Dream.
Okay.
By Elle Kaysen, I believe is her name.
Okay.
It's a little bit different of a genre for me. It's super thick.
Okay.
So I'm one of those people that it takes because life happens. I'm reading about two sittings and I can have one book done. And I'm kind of an audiobook reader as well. But but I can see where you're coming from with, okay, we're going to stop buying books.
Yeah, we about to go to the library. Like, because y'all are losing y'all mind. I mean, I'm glad you're reading, but.
Yeah.
How old are your boys?
11, 9, 11, 10, and 3.
Okay. Yeah, 11, 10, and 3. Okay.
And just had a birthday. So 11, 10, and 3. Yep.
Oh, wow.
Excellent.
Okay,
excellent.
awesome.
No more.
No more? You're done?
More?
Yeah. Now, that's a lot of male energy in your household, especially for someone that does weddings.
Yeah. We're not having any more children. My husband he did his due diligence and he put a stop to that for us. He went on, got that taken care of.
Yeah.
Because everybody contributes in this family. I gave birth to 3 of your children. It's your turn to do something for yourself.
That's right.
And so, and I always joke with him. I'm like, God forbid this don't work out. You and Susie not finna go start no family and have a daughter. What y'all not gonna do?
Yeah.
But yeah, no, we're done having kids. It is a lot of male energy in here.
Yeah.
But I actually love it because one thing about my husband and my kids, they go along with whatever I say. So if I'm like, oh, we eating outside on the blanket, we having a picnic, everybody's like, all right. If I'm like, okay, if I'm like, okay, we about to go do this, or I want to do this instead, everybody's like, all right. So it's just Yeah, it's
No
nice.
pushback.
Yeah,
I love
zero.
The boys got that from their dad, obviously.
Yes, yeah. Because my husband is very like, this is your house. However you want to run this situation up in here, he's like, I'm cool with that. He's like, he's very laid back. He's like, look, I'm good.
I love that.
How do you guard the refrigerator door? Because boys, we keep our hands on that handle.
Don't y'all?
So school starts Tuesday.
Yeah.
I am very excited for it. But what really helps us at our house is that school starts Tuesday. What really helps us is we have like just a schedule of whatever is going on for meals. So it's like this was for breakfast, this was for lunch, this was for dinner, and these are your snack options. Like you're not just coming in here because you're bored.
Yeah.
And then they, were pretty busy this summer with their things that they were involved in, basketball camp, coding camp, that sort of thing. So they weren't just at home. And so it's like I noticed as long as it was as structured as I could possibly put together, I'm like, okay, today we bought like a lot of stuff for the deep freezer that they could put in the air fryer. So they're like, look, you can put this in the air fryer, you can put that in the air fryer, like you can do this, like, and so that
yourself.
Oh yeah, so that definitely worked.
Yeah, absolutely.
I looking at Just Elope, I'm so curious. What inspired you? How did you get started? Like that's because this is huge. Like marriage, especially this month.
I've heard you share the story, but I'm super excited.
I haven't heard the story at all.
Yeah. So my fiance, my boyfriend, proposed to me, and we got engaged. And 5 days later, he was leaving for deployment. And so we made the decision probably like around 3 days before he was leaving that we wanted to get married before he left. And so he was like, if something was to happen to me while I'm gone, he's like, you have no benefits. You have nothing because you are my, on paper, nothing. I mean, just it is what it is. Something happens to me, then there's nothing for you. And so I'm like, well, why do you think something gonna happen to you? So now I'm like, where that come from? And so
like Capricorn.
He is a Pisces.
He's
my sweet Pisces. And so we looked for a company that could marry us before he left. And really our only options were like going off to Vegas or going to City Hall. And I was emailing people like photographers or trying to find somebody. And you want to try to do right and do the due diligence to find somebody with some reviews and this, that, and the third. But I was on such a tight time frame that it's like I didn't have time to really do that type of research. And we could not afford to just get up and fly to Vegas. Like that wasn't a thing.
Right.
And so we were young and broke. And so we ended up going to City Hall. And that was in July 2010. We went to City Hall. We got married. 5 hours later, he left for deployment. And he was gone for 10 months. And while he was gone, I was supposed to start planning this epic, beautiful, huge wedding. And I quickly realized that like my definition of beautiful was very expensive. And like I just told you before, we were broke. And so it just didn't come together. And so by the time he came home, I was no closer to planning this epic wedding than I was, before.
Not yet.
Oh, okay. I'm here. I've been talking. Y'all didn't hear me? I'm sorry.
No, we had some technical issues.
Okay.
So the last thing we heard was he had left for deployment.
Like 5 hours.
Then 5 hours he had been gone for 10 months.
Yes. So he was gone. So he was gone for 10 months. And then I started trying to plan our wedding. And it was overwhelming. Everything was expensive. And unfortunately for me, it was hard for me to justify spending that amount of money because we were already married. So like when you're engaged, you're in this bubble. right? You're in this, everything blissfulness and I'll spend the money and it's fine. We were already married, so those rose-colored glasses were gone. And so justifying those expenses were hard for me. So when he came home from deployment, I was no closer to planning our wedding than I was when he left. So yeah, we end up booking a wedding planner, and probably like a year after he was home, we end up pregnant with our first son. Okay. And so the money we paid the wedding planner actually turned into a baby shower. So she did the decor for our baby shower, and and that was just kind of that. I had put a deposit down on a venue that never came to be. When our oldest was 10 months old, we end up being pregnant with our second child. So now we're paying for 2 kids in daycare. And so we had December 2012, and then in October of 2013, before he turned 1, I was pregnant again. And then we had Jackson in July of 2014. So now we're coming up on 5 years married, and I'm like, this is the perfect time to plan a vow renewal, blah, 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 blah. We were still broke. Okay. So we were still broke. we had 2 small kids, still trying to figure it out. What are we doing? So on and so forth. And as we kind of start inching to like 2016, I had the idea at the end of 2015 that I wanted to start a business where I could marry couples without them having to go to City Hall. I didn't really know how I was going to pull it off. So I went online and got ordained in September of 2015. Okay. Well, I didn't launch Just Elope until February of 2017. And that's because it took me that long to just figure it out. And just figure out, okay, like, what do I want to do? Because finally I was like, you know what? I'm done trying to plan something for myself. I want to create a business so that other brides don't have to struggle with having a nice wedding outside of the courthouse, even if it's last minute. They can go to a reputable company where the reviews are there, that confidence of booking is there. And we launched Just Elope in February of 2017. And we started out marrying couples just like we went around downtown and all over Dallas, like looking up public parks that, and not necessarily, I don't think like swings and slides, but just like beautiful outdoor spots that like, if somebody was to get married here, like right in front of the water, like this would be that sort of thing. So we just went out finding places, started compiling this list. And I launched in February of 2017. And that first year we did 8 weddings. And I was shocked. I was like 8 folks that paid me money to marry them outside. Like I'm on at this point. I'm like, it's no turning back. And first year was 8 weddings. The next year was 32 weddings. And
wait, you jumped from 8 to 32?
Yes.
I
jumped from 8 to 32, and in the 7 years that we've been in business, we've married almost 500 couples.
Wow. Ooh. That's amazing. That's amazing. So let's backtrack a little bit. What were you what were you doing before you got into this? Like, were you planning events? What were you doing?
So I was not an event planner. I did not want to do anything with weddings. So because my idea of a good time is not spending 8 to 12 hours with nobody. That's not my man. Like, that is not my idea of a good time. Right. And so Just Elope worked because it was created to accommodate me, because I had small kids. I knew I didn't want to be gone for an extended amount of time. And I knew that I wanted to be able to get in and out, give people what they needed, and come home. Yeah. And so I did not have to conform to the wedding world of planning long drawn out weddings with all these people and all this, that. So I'm like, I don't want to do that. So I want to do something that works for me and my family. And so I was still, of course, working full time. So it was like, I also not trying to work full time and then spend my whole weekend looking at somebody else. Like, I want to sit down. And so I'm like, I'm not trying to do that. So I've always had a knack for entrepreneurship, though. I've sold hair bundles, colored hair. I started a bachelorette party planning business called Hot Pink Life. Okay. And it just kind of spiraled from there. So I always knew I wanted to do something within the wedding industry, but not a like traditional wedding planner.
Yeah.
So I was able to create a lane for myself that worked for me. Now I was doing photography. So I became a self-taught photographer. That really started taking off for me. And that allowed, so the first 100 weddings that we did, I shot every wedding.
Nice.
And then now I have a team. We have a wedding going on in a couple minutes, actually. And so yesterday I was at my baby's game. Like, I created a business that did not need me to thrive on the day of, that I can take care of all the things leading up to the exact moment it's happening, and then I can pass it off to my team to execute. And so it works out perfectly because everybody wants. So we're not poor anymore, right? So
say it, That's
we
the
don't pay no dues.
Listen, we not poor no more. My man that graduated from college. He's a data analyst. He got a good job. I'm running my business full time. Like, it is a definite blessing because people see things on social media, like they come into your life at different points. And so when you're on the up and they never got to experience like the build of it, they think like, oh, who is this person like getting all this press or doing all of these things? And it's like, no, I need for you to understand that I started literally marrying couples at your local park behind a community center. Like, I need you to understand, like, this has been clawing, grit, figuring out, trial and error, nothing like self-taught, nothing given. And I think that entrepreneurs especially, glamorize entrepreneurship. And I wish that was something that they didn't do. Oh, I'm my own boss. I'm not on nobody's schedule. Can't nobody tell me what to do. Y'all working for the man, baby. I love the man. Okay, let me tell you something. My man works for the man. Okay, my man works for the man.
Insurance.
Yeah. Okay. We got some good insurance. You heard yourself. Your deductible $300. So we love the man. So it's one of those things where it's like, I worked up until July of this year.
Okay,
like literally. And I've had a consistent growth in six-figure business for years, but people don't understand that grossing six figures and keeping six figures is two totally different things. And they want to continue to say, I made six figures. Anything with a one in front of it as an entrepreneur, no, baby, you did not do nothing six figures, because taxes finna eat that alive. Like, let me be the first to tell you what I know. Taxes go eat that damn
money.
Yes, on time. You get a note. Okay, so it is just one of those things where it's like, I love that we're in a space now to where my husband was able to say, come home, run your business full time, whether you make a dime or not. I got it.
Yeah.
To other people, that's like, oh, girl, that must be nice. Blah, blah, blah. I'm like, baby, where were you? My man was working part-time at Best Buy on top of the job he had, because Chris, like, people don't see.
They don't see the struggle getting up to this.
We had 2 kids, 1 car, dropping him off at the train station, taking the kids, picking him up, him riding the, like, that's the stuff that people don't see. They only see now like, oh my God, he bought her a new car, or they just did. It's like, if we got married young. So I met my husband. I'm 3 years older than him. He was 19. I was 22. And we got married. We dated for a year and a half before we got married. So we've been married for 14 years. When you grow up in front of somebody, it makes marriage and life extremely difficult, because not only are you trying to figure out who you are as the individual, but now you're having to also figure out yourself, figure out how to be a husband or a wife, figure out how to be somebody's parent, figure out your money, all while you're under this microscope, because hey, you got somebody else looking at you right here. You got these kids right here, and it's a lot. And so I'm super grateful for this space that we're in, because it was not always this space. Like, people see, oh, they bought a new house. Well, yeah, did you see that every time our lease was up in our apartment that we was moving because we wanted to move somewhere else, and we moving, and
they don't see that. They don't see. They don't even know the inner workings of buying a house. That has some stuff in it too, you know.
It was chaos. You know what I will say for us, we bought our house during the pandemic, and we bought our house brand new in 2020. And
very smart. Very smart.
Listen, we have a 2.25 interest rate.
I was gonna say that low interest rate.
2.25. My husband, military, so we got that good VA loan situation going on.
Yeah.
So, you know, it worked out for us, and our business boomed in the pandemic, because so many people had to shift their wedding plans from going from a big traditional wedding to something smaller. Well, because of the pandemic, yes, our business did great, but chaos breeds opportunity. And people saw that as an opportunity to, well, I want to start a business that caters to people wanting to have small weddings. So now there's a lot more competition, a lot more people doing the same thing. And I'm okay with that, you know, because ultimately there are enough brides and grooms in the world for everybody. It's no shortage of folks getting married.
Yeah, everybody can eat.
Yeah, I think you paid your dues, and at your level, you have the billboard. So you get it's like what you put in, you're gonna get out, because you got you have the exposure to get the bigger piece of the pie, where somebody's just starting out. Like, you're competition, but there's levels to this. And you have to step levels up. And I want to ask, Love is Blind is a huge show. I watched a couple of episodes and I was like, wait. Go to the next episode. I want to see this. How did you get the call? How did you feel about getting on national television? I mean, that's big. I
gotta find the episode.
So it's season 3, episode 10 is where I am. My couple is SK and Raven. So the story is quite comical. So in this show actually filmed in July of 2021.
Okay.
And it did not come out until October of 2022.
Okay.
So we had a NDA silencer. Nobody can say anything during this time period. So literally it was a Sunday. I was getting up to go to brunch with my girlfriends, and I get an email saying urgent response, officiant needed for a Netflix show. And so I'm like,
did you think it was spam?
Yes. I'm like, okay, fake news. Right. And so I always look at the email address where something comes from, because that lets you know whether, something is real or not. And I'm like, oh, wait, this is a legit casting agency. And so they sent the email. I responded back. They responded back. And they're like, so we're filming tomorrow. I'm like, wait, what?
Whoa,
tomorrow. Yeah. Okay, so y'all, I had my baby in March 29th of 2021.
Okay.
So I still had I looked a mess. I mean I looked like somebody who was at home with a newborn. Like I looked like it. Because I stayed home his first year, so I'm like, I ain't got nowhere to go. I'm enjoying my maternity leave. So it was a whirlwind. I had, it's Sunday, everything closed at 6.
Yeah.
At this point, it's like 12. I had to get my hair was braided. I had to take my braids down. I had to find something to wear. I had to get my nails and toes done, schedule an appointment to get my makeup done. But I'm exclusively nursing my baby.
Oh God.
And so I'm like, how is this gonna work? Is he even gonna drink some formula? So my mom was like, he gonna drink it, he just gonna be hungry. So she's like, this little fat butt is not gonna be hungry. You want so I was never pumping because I was home. So I never, because he nursed so often, it was never a chance to need to pump. And so I was like, oh my gosh. So my mom was like, girl, he gonna be fine. Get that milk. Look, either he gonna drink it or he ain't gonna he gonna be hungry. He's like, that little fat boy in there.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. She was like, we got this. Don't even worry about it.
Right.
So got my hair and stuff done, got everything together. Me and my husband left. I was able to pump like before we left to put some milk up so that because we just needed to go to the mall, find something to wear, that sort of thing. My mom kept the baby and our other 2 boys, and found a dress. When I got my nails and toes done, my best friend did my hair, called a makeup artist. The next morning, went to her, got my makeup done. And then once I got there, they were like, and you have to do a COVID test. And I'm thinking to myself, now I know I haven't been anywhere to where I would have had COVID. I was like, but what if I had COVID? Like, that would miss this opportunity. So I was a nervous wreck. So while we were waiting for the test results, and I told my husband, like, oh my God, what if I have COVID? He's like, why would you even think that? He's like, you ain't been nowhere. You fine. And so I of course didn't have it, but we were there. Honestly, the filming of it was very fast paced. It was a long day, but it was fast. It was fast paced. And I don't know what my expectations were, but I remember calling my husband. He was like, so what y'all eat? And I'm like, they don't have no food.
They didn't have a layout for y'all?
No. And so, and I got there at like 9 that morning, and I didn't leave until like 6 that evening. He was like, I'm ordering you some lunch. It's about to be delivered, because I was so frazzled because I kept having to pump while I was there. Right. And so I didn't really think about the dress that I had on, because every time I had to pump, I had to completely pull my dress up.
Okay.
So I'm sitting in a car with my dress under my chin trying to pump, and people walking by because they're filming. So people and I'm like,
oh my God.
I was like, I'm like, this is just turning into such chaos. But then like everything that you see on the show, like I didn't know who the couple was. I didn't meet them until we were at the altar. I didn't know anything about them. And so I just kept telling couples. Did I do what? I'm sorry.
Multiple couples?
Just one.
Just one. Probably. The way the show was set up, she probably just did. Yeah.
Just one. Okay.
Yeah. So I told myself, I was like, girl, you've done this so many times.
Did they both say yes?
You're going to watch when we get off of here. Just all you need to do is fast forward to season 10, episode 3, fast forward to the wedding. And I want you to watch it.
Okay.
And the reason why I want you to watch that part first is because that's the part that I watched first, right? So I didn't know anything that led up to that moment.
Okay.
All I knew was what happened standing in front of me. Yeah. And so once I watched the show, then I'm like, all this stuff start unfolding, and I'm like, that was wild. And so but everything that you see just like played out the way it happened. Like I didn't know anything. And so I just told my husband, I'm like, oh no, go ahead.
I was gonna ask, had you watched Love is Blind before?
Never seen it. Never seen it. So while they were emailing me, and then we ended up getting on a phone call, my husband pulled up season 1 because they filmed season 2 and 3 at the same time. So only season 1 was out. Okay. And so pulled it up, and I remember that Rev Roxy, she's a really big Black female officiant, and very popular. She had did it. And so we went through and fast forward to watch, because really my husband was like, I want to see how much screen time they giving y'all, blah, blah, blah. And so I ended up getting a good little amount. I'm like, oh, okay. Appreciate y'all. Right. And so that went well. So I knew the premise of the show was somebody could say no. And so my husband was like, you need to practice your face in case somebody say no. He was like, because you don't understand. When stuff happens, you be like,
wait a minute, why did we get here?
Yeah,
he's like, so yeah. He was like, so keep it together, no matter what the answers are. Just keep it together.
Wait a minute, he had to prep you for it, so that means you're notorious.
But notorious, because it's like you do something happen and you like,
yeah. You watching it just like we watching.
Right. So this was all taking place, and so it was a long day, but it was so much fun in the sense of wow, this is something major to add to my resume. Yeah. And so it was a great experience.
Oh,
that's amazing. Cool. That's amazing. Cool. And you married the brat.
Yes. So that process was a lot easier, but just as chaotic. So I've known Judy since 2019, Jessica Judy Dupar. Since 2019. She did a Judy Mentor Me contest at the end of 2018. And you had to submit a video of why you wanted to get mentored by her, what your business was, whatever. I was selected. So from that, she flew me to New Orleans, put me in a nice hotel. We met up, kind of talked over my goals, that sort of thing. And more so than anything, it gave me access to her. So in the sense of if you need some advice, if you need, you want to run a contest, I'll be the face of it. So we ran a contest. She did the video for it, that sort of thing, really helped our social media grow during that time. We did 2 weddings in New Orleans from the contest. She came to both of them, made sure everything was cool with the couples and stuff. So super sweet. And then from there, I remember she texted me when her and Debra started dating, and I was like, oh my gosh. She's like, don't say anything. Nobody knows. It's not out publicly, just the people close to her. And so they were so cute. And I think that people see them online because social media is so watered down with so much fakeness of people are like, are they actually like that? And it's yes. Yeah. That is not a pretend thing. Because if it was, I wouldn't even have brought this part of the conversation up. It is truly them. Yeah. And it's the sweetest, most sickening thing you ever experience. And it's in the best possible way ever. They truly are just so into each other. Yeah. And that's great because oftentimes you always have one person that's more into the other person. Yes. And so online, it may be perceived by people that oh, the brat is so into her. And is she really? And it's no, it's an equal. It is an equal piece. And so that worked out. When they got engaged and they were planning their wedding, they got married in February. So in November, I believe it was, I got a text from Judy saying that they didn't have an officiant yet, and they were trying to figure out what they were going to do there. They were kind of running down a list of names, and she just wanted me to know my name was on the list or whatever. This was the date. Just kind of keep it in mind. She couldn't confirm.
That's cool. She, opened up and told you hey, you know.
So I'm okay, cool. So I didn't think nothing else of it. February the 11th, she texted me and was 222. It's all you. And I'm okay, great. 11 days before the wedding. So I said, okay. I said, well, what's all the details? She said, I'm gonna give you my planners and information. Shout out to Ellie, like she's the best. And I text Ellie, and I've seen all these amazing over the top weddings that she done. And I'm like, oh my God, this person's probably, so up there, the sweetest. And I'm like, I'm sure people probably, until they talk to me, they may have, misconceptions like, oh, because this person's done certain things, they may be a certain way. And I'm like, baby, I got 3 kids. No matter how cool y'all think I am, when I get off this phone, I gotta go. I cooked right before I got on here to make sure everybody was sitting down. I'm finna go outside and spray paint their names on these little mats. I'm just a regular old,
regular woman.
My husband gonna be waiting in there looking at me like, what's up when we get out? When I get like, it's just these folks around here will keep you humble, child. Like,
yes.
And I absolutely love it because I'm like, this is my job. You know what I'm saying? So when I meet people like my kids' moms, and then they'll get a hold to my social media, and then they're like, oh my God, how come you didn't tell us that you did such and such, such and such? And I just look at it like, well, why didn't y'all tell me where y'all worked at? You know what I'm saying? Like, because to me, it's a job. Like the perks of the job are I get to be on the news sometimes. Like perks of the job is I got to be on Netflix. I got to be on WeTV. I get to interact in these circles. But that's just a part of the job. Yeah. And that's how I look at it. Like, I don't look at it like I'm some big cool kid. I look at it like, this is what I got to do for work today. Like,
this is my job.
Yeah.
This is my job. Like, and so
my job just entails these things.
Yeah.
Right. Like, it's to me, nothing more. Like, it's my job. Like, I don't be like, oh yeah, girl, let me tell y'all what I did. I hate when somebody that my kids finds out anything. Because my boys, when I tell you they gonna ride, I came up to the school to pick them up one day to go to the doctor. I walked in, the gym teacher was like, oh my God, Maddox told us that you were on Netflix. I love Love is Blind. I didn't know that was you. I was like, it just makes me cringe. Like it does.
Yeah.
Why? It makes me cringe because I'm just like, okay, now everybody else is now hearing this conversation and they're like, what's your social media and blah blah. And I'm like,
it's kind of merging into your personal
space. Right. And I'm like, okay, that's that's weird. Or they'll come over and they're like, oh my God, so and so told me. And I'm like, girl, we here but for these kids. I don't want to talk about work. That's work.
That's work.
Now you know how it feels when there's like a LeBron.
Yeah. Oh God. Yes. Yes. Let them people be like, this is work. And so I'm like, I don't need that. Don't do nothing for me for people to like need to give me praise for anything because I'm like, same way you want to do well on your job to keep getting paid. I want to do well on my job, so I keep getting paid. We paying for retainer, in camp, all these things, baby. I'm just going to work.
Yeah,
I think that's the realest thing that you can say because sometimes people don't understand that there is that you still have your personal space, and they'll just evade it because of what they perceive. They're coming and tap you on your shoulder. You're like, I don't even. Now you feel like you're surrounded. All these people.
Or they'll say something like, "Oh my God, you're so nice," and I'm like
they're shocked.
Oh my God. What they expect?
What does that mean? Or like we do weddings, and people will be like, "Oh my God, can you?" So we have a white woman on my team. Shout out to Willow. And
hey
Willow, we'll do weddings together, and then they'll come up to her, and they'll be like, "Oh my God, like." You did such an amazing, she's one of my photographers. You did such an amazing job. Like, how long have you had this business and blah, 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 blah. And it's always so funny because she's like, oh no, I work for her. She's like, this is, and my whole team is like that. They're like, no, I work for her. She's the person in charge.
Yeah.
And so I'm always like, hey, how you doing? Blah, blah, blah. And they're always like, why don't you like make it a point to be like, this is my company. And I'm like, girl, I don't give a damn. The money done cleared.
Right. Yeah,
You've been paid. I done paid basketball fees. Like, girl, I don't care who these people think. If they book because they thought you was the owner, god damn it, you the owner. I don't care. It don't make me a lick of difference because these kids don't care who provides. They just need to be provided for.
Yeah.
And our job as parents are to provide, give them a childhood that they don't have to heal from as adults.
Yes.
Show an example of a marriage that makes them say, I want to have a marriage like my parents, because ultimately your kids are going to go one of two ways. Either I want a marriage just like my parents, or I don't want a marriage anything like my parents.
Yeah.
And so it's like we try to keep the main thing. My husband always says, like, it bothers him because he's like, you don't pop your shit enough. Like, you don't do it. I'm like, I'm like, y'all think I'm cool?
I'm sure he brags on you too.
Oh God, they are the best. Like, and my mom and everybody, and we just I don't want to say anything yet because it hasn't been a release date. But like we filmed for I filmed for something huge for me that's coming out this fall, and he's like, and you better, and we doing something to celebrate, and we doing blah blah blah, and I'm like, I mean, we can, but like that does not do it for me, and I think that as a creative, I constantly feel like I need to be doing more, creating more, being more. Like it's not enough for me.
I see what you're saying, because everybody got this excitement, this blast, and you're like, well, my passion is this.
Yeah. So what does do it for you?
Yeah.
I haven't found it yet. To be honest, my dad always says that like you should treat success like eating soup with a fork. Like you get just a little bitty taste of it, but you got to keep going because you should never be full from what you're doing. Like you should always constantly want to strive to keep going, and that's where I am. I see this vision in my head for the things that I want to do, and making my family proud, making myself proud, living up. I just want to live up to be the person that my children think that they view me as.
Yeah.
And I just want to really be that person, like they think mommy can do blah, blah, blah. She's unstoppable. Blah. And I just want to be that person to myself.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's real, man.
That's real.
I've been your story, the way you started from just your ambition to where it's like snowballing, getting bigger and bigger, and just learning a lot from sometimes people are hesitant, scared, to first start something, and the way you did it, you were just like,
Okay, so I'm gonna start talking.
Can you hear us?
Yes.
Sorry about that. I don't know what we don't never had that technical issue, and today it won't a trip.
Yeah, no. Y'all are good.
Don't even worry, because we're gonna edit clean that little snippet out. We done got good at that.
Oh yes, we have. Okay, so what were you saying?
No, I was just saying like how it wasn't something that she sat on for 10 years and started. It was just something that she was just like, okay, if this is gonna be it, let me just stick to the resin lakes that I'm used to, that's close to me, and then people start gravitating. So I love that if you build it, they will come.
Yeah.
Because you started with something, your own idea, and first of all, coining the phrase "just elope," like that's available.
Yeah. In Dallas.
Yeah.
So Just Elope is available for you. That is awesome.
What I love is that
my husband came with the name.
Okay, I love that. I love because what entrepreneurship is and has always been to me is solving a problem. And 9 out of 10, what I have figured out is if you had an issue or a problem, 9 out of 10, there's somebody else that has had the same issue or
100%.
problem that they're willing to pay somebody to solve this problem for me.
100%. 100%.
Yeah.
Find a void in the market and fill it.
Yes, absolutely. I'm so excited. I had a whole bunch of questions, but this has been an amazing conversation. One thing that I definitely want to ask, because we always ask all our guests, is, the name of the show is If I Do This Right? So what is your, if I do this right, XYZ, whatever that is for you, maybe personally, professionally, whatever that is for you.
Okay, so I'll give a personal and a professional. So, if I stay the course on working out every day, next summer, I'm wearing a crop top. I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm putting a crop top on. Like, it's gonna be what it is. I've lost 85 pounds in the last year.
Congratulations.
And thank you. And I want to, I probably want to lose maybe about 20 more just so I can have some wiggle room, a bit kind of fluctuating. I don't want to lose too much weight that my head be big, because my head already big. You know how you lose a bunch of weight when you was big and you get small and your head be wobbly.
And listen, I've seen your photos. You fine.
Thank you. I don't want right. I don't want to be white. Plus my husband like all this wagon I'm dragging back here. So I ain't trying to lose too much. Want to keep what my man like. So but more so than anything, like I don't want to be skinny. I want to be healthy, right? And so being in shape for me is really important. Not getting winded, doing things, walking. I want to be in shape. I want to be heart healthy. So that's my personal, and my professional is if I do this right, short term. Can y'all still hear me? Because I think y'all might be frozen. Can y'all hear me?
Yeah. Click out. Okay. You back.
We got you.
Okay. So if I do this right with my short term, with my officiant training program, I'm releasing an officiant training program teaching other people how they can start a business being a wedding officiant, whether they want to take it from like a side hustle to a full-scale business, a full-scale brand, giving them all the tools and resources that they need. And if I do this right, there are not a lot of African-American women that dominate the wedding industry, like in any capacity. Most of the time, if you think of somebody from a wedding, you might say David Tutera, like Martha Stewart, like not anybody, like what Black woman comes to mind?
None.
I
may be interested.
See?
I may be interested in that.
So nobody comes to mind when you think of that. So when you see that there's this wide open lane for you to be able to make a way, and teaching people things is a great way to solidify yourself in your realm. When you become a person of knowledge, just not somebody that's trying to, when you're providing a value and not always selling, you get more sales.
That's right.
And so you got to know how to give a little, and then so you can get a lot.
That's right.
So yeah, though that's my immediate short term, but the biggest one, if I do this right, Just Elope will be, a household name in the Dallas area, and from there we'll just continue to grow.
Yeah. I loved what you said. I watched one of your interviews. I've basically been stalking you for the last couple of weeks. But I loved an interview that you had, or someone asked you a question about expanding to other areas. I think I even commented on a video because you were saying, I want to keep it here. I want to keep quality over quantity. And I love that because that really speaks to the excellence of what you do and what Just Elope stands for.
Yes, it's super important to me. Oh, girl, and I had this dress on that video, y'all. This is my throw-on dress. I was cooking, so I got like some sweatpants on underneath this. I always just need something that I could throw on. I got a sports bra on. Like I always just need something that look cute. From here. And so when you said that about that video, I'm like, damn, I had the dress on in that video. And I'm gonna have it on again, baby. So just know y'all gonna see this again. But it's really important to me to maintain quality control. You grow too fast. Starbucks was only in Seattle for 16 years.
Yeah.
Like it took them 16 years to now be on every corner that you turn.
Yeah.
And I saw a thing about Colonel Sanders, and it was saying he didn't start KFC till he was like 62.
Yeah.
And so it's like we often put these time restraints on us because of age. And like if we don't do it right now, somebody else is going to beat us to the punch. But opportunity has to meet preparation. And if you are presented with the opportunity that you did not prepare for, then it was a wasted opportunity. Mm-hmm. But if you're constantly doing the everyday things, preparing for this moment, so that when that opportunity does present itself, you're gonna take off.
Yeah.
But if you're not prepared, then it was a wasted opportunity.
Absolutely.
Every successful story has the essence that you went through. And I think the key thing is taking action. So when you take the action, your steps is going to align, because your story and Tyler Perry's story and Oprah Winfrey's story. I mean, these are big people, but the steps are the same.
The steps are the same.
Yeah, you start now. Speaking of steps, I got a question for y'all. So are y'all a couple?
Yes.
Okay, so how long y'all been dating?
2 years.
Yeah, 2 years.
You got a son going to be a senior in high school?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So we have both been married before.
So, but my point is, y'all are the big age, right?
We the big age. Yeah, we the big age.
Y'all a big age, and y'all been dating for 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
So in big age terms, that's like 6 years in big age.
Feels like
yeah, it's like 6 years in big age.
Yeah.
So I ain't putting no pressure on nobody.
Right.
But if y'all want to do something small, I got you. Y'all want to just elope, I'll help y'all.
We don't even have this. You just got your name on it. Like, you ain't got no.
There's no
name. And our next brand that we're launching is a proposal company. So we are launching proposal planning. So I got you. But you earlier you said Just Elope was available. Yes. So justelope.net was available. justelope.com is currently, I think, maybe like $4,000. And my husband always says, like, why won't you just buy the domain name? I'm like, because I own the trademark. I don't care.
Yes.
I'm not spending $4,000 on that. And I know I'm gonna have to, but I'm not today. And so nobody better not act like they want to get it, because what y'all gonna do with that?
Nothing. You listen, this internet's going to all this metaverse and all this stuff like that. You might be marrying people on
the metaverse.
On the metaverse.
That's even better because I can slip my dress on over my pants and go get it started. Because when I'm done with y'all, I'm gonna take this dress off, put my shirt back on. I'm trying to clean the refrigerator and cook it. Look, it's just like I said, these folks around here will keep you humble.
Absolutely. Yeah. Well, we have so enjoyed our conversation with you. I knew we would.
We're gonna follow up with you too, because when you manifest things like that, on If I Do This Right, we're gonna follow up with you to see how you're doing later on.
I would love
because
that.
we want to push you in the right direction with words of inspiration to help you move forward. That's what this is about. Like, push, keep going, and get to that level that you're looking for. So
well, I appreciate y'all for having me on your podcast. I'm always open. Anytime somebody reaches out, they'll be like, well, I know you're probably busy, or I'm like, it is any opportunity that I have the availability. Like, and I don't care how big the platform is, like that doesn't make me no difference. I mean, because we're all trying to grow something, and my business, Just Elope, may have a larger platform, but like my podcast is just starting out. So I wouldn't want anybody to, look at my social media numbers and be like, I don't want to go on a podcast. She ain't got nobody, So it's like, don't let that discourage you. And if anybody don't want to be in your podcast for whatever reason, bye.
Oh, next. I think the people who do that, they haven't lived long enough. Like, we understand how things work.
Yeah.
And, like I said, a plant starts at a seed and grows.
Yeah.
You just got to keep watering it. So people that don't want to get on the show, this ain't your time.
Yeah.
This is our time to find people who want to be on the show, and you don't know what type of connections to come afterwards. You may need us in the future. Who knows?
Yeah.
Ain't that how it always works?
Always. There was a guy, but before we go, to just keep y'all encouraged and whoever's listening, myself, there was a guy, I'm going to look up his name and figure it out, but he had a YouTube video. He had a YouTube channel. Don't really remember what he did or what it was, but he only was getting like maybe 20, 30 views. Like nobody was really watching it. His small views on this episode. But one of the people that was watching it was Oprah Winfrey, and he ended up getting a show on her network. So it doesn't always take a bunch of eyes. It just takes the right eyes, because her looking is worth everybody else that could have possibly tuned in and did anything, So it doesn't make a difference. But I think what y'all are doing is great. I just want to encourage you to keep going, and thank you so much for having me on.
Absolutely. Listen, and I look up to you on the business standpoint. So I'm like watching you. So keep pushing. I love what you're doing. I love your idea. We may be hitting you up sometime for something else, but I definitely am looking for. I'm going to think about the officiant.
Yeah,
because that sounds like something I might be interested in doing.
Yeah, if you're passionate about it.
Yeah. I love people that I love.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
Thank you so much for having me.
You're welcome. Thank y'all so much. All right.
Take care.
Bye.
Go to the website, www.justelope.net.
Absolutely.
Yes. Thank y'all so much.
Absolutely.
Right. Take care. Bye.
Man, what an awesome episode. What an awesome interview.
We keep getting blessed with people who have an elaborate background, and like she said, like, it doesn't matter. We're gonna keep doing it because pushing. We're doing the right things.
Absolutely.
And we're doing things that it expresses what you do. So if you're out there doing things and you want to be on a platform that supports you, we support you. We support what you do.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Yeah.
That is it. So we're gonna keep supporting. We're gonna keep pushing. Ain't no stopping.
And it really speaks to anytime, and even with Jennifer, anytime you're passionate about doing something, just do it. It doesn't matter who's watching, because I truly believe that whatever you believe in, God, the universe, whatever, if you are doing it and you're doing it with a pure heart, it's all going to come together. You just keep doing what you do.
Yo, and shout out to Candy.
Yes.
Been tuning in, chopping it up with us.
Candy keeps me together. I love you so much. Thank you, friend. Thank you so much.
Candy is the bomb.
She is. So thank you guys for joining us. Man, we have such a great season left over for you all. Let's see, our next upcoming show is actually like a brother and family of to me. His name is D'Angelo Shanks. He is a real estate investor out of Oklahoma City.
Yes.
So excited to have that conversation with him. That's going to be on that's going to be September the 8th. We don't have a guest yet for October, but I got one that's kind of in the works.
And let us know if you want to be on the show.
If you want to be on the show, hit us up. Yeah.
And we're more than happy to bring you up on our show platform.
Yeah.
So you can express what you do and express if you did it right, where will you be?
Yeah, absolutely. Because we want to hear from you.
Yes.
We definitely want to hear from you.
Yeah.
November, we have a panel discussion coming up, and it's on maintaining friendships after the age of 30. This show will be tailored towards women. And I think it's a conversation that needs to be had. I'm super excited about it. I will be mediating the conversation, but I have some ladies that will be on. Actually, Candy is going to be one of those ladies.
Right.
Again, shout out to Candy, but that is going to be I'm hoping and praying that show brings healing, clarity, and enlightenment, because that's a conversation, like I said, that we aren't talking about enough, in my opinion, is maintaining relationships after you a big grown age.
Yeah.
And then in December, we have our season finale, which is going to be a friend of mine, one of my best friends, Keita King, is going to be on, who also has a podcast herself, which is Southern Comfort Podcast. She's going to be back on sometime in September. If you love Southern Soul music, you need to check out her podcast, because she has had some big names on her show involved with Southern Soul. So we have some great stuff coming up for you all. We thank you guys for your support and your love. Keep sharing the show. Keep asking if you want to be on the show. We take everybody. If you got us, email us. Yeah, email us or message us.
Yeah.
We definitely want to hear from you all. But did you know for today?
Yes. Okay. Listen, I work in an industry that people are getting false information or identity theft, things like that. So one of the key things, if you have not done so, is lock your credit up with all the three bureaus. Just lock it. You can unlock it if you're going to do something major, like make big purchases, but go to each one and lock your credit. That way it doesn't end up on, there's another platform out there called the black market, or the black internet.
Dark web.
Yeah. Dark web. And stuff is on there. So protect yourself. This is a digital world, but it's more, the more you're exposed to it, the worse you're off. So protect yourself, lock your credit, go to each credit bureau, and you just press credit lock and it'll switch it lock. And then, identity theft, you have some type of identity theft monitoring. Christmas is coming up. People, we just watched the YouTube with somebody did, credit card scams and all that stuff like that. So if you don't want to be a part of that, lock your stuff up.
Lock your stuff up.
Lock it up.
Lock it up. All right, guys.
Like and subscribe. And lock it up.
Thanks, you guys, for watching. We will see you next time.
All right. And we are 5, 4, 3, 2.